by law enforcement.
Okay. Did you give these guys permission to search your car? Nice.
If you are approached by the police and they ask to search your car, it's important to know your rights. In many jurisdictions, you have the right to refuse a search of your vehicle if the police do not have a warrant or probable cause. It's generally a good idea to remain calm.
Did you tell them not to?
I just want to get out.
But did you ask them not to search the car?
You cannot interfere.
You just told me to ask her.
Back up.
You just told me to...
When we're done.
You didn't say when you're done. You said ask her.
When we're done,
right?
You talk to her, but you cannot stand next to the window while we're on a traffic stop.
Well, you shouldn't be searching her car without permission
you don't know
either.
What's going on here, bud? So do me a favor.
You told me to ask her, so I did.
Give the 10 feet that you said you would give us, okay? And let us.
I have 10 feet away from the car. You approached me. Well, you can ask a lot of things. I'm asking if you had permission to search her car.
And at the end of our traffic stop, you're welcome to ask her anything you want. But until then.
All right, so you should have said that. You just said ask her, right? So I'm following your instructions. No, I'm not going to argue with you either.
It's generally a good idea to remain calm, be polite, and clearly and respectfully assert your rights. You can say something like, "I do not consent to a search." If the police have a valid reason to conduct a search, they may proceed, but if not, you have the right to refuse. Keep in mind that you should not physically resist the police, as that can lead to further legal issues. If the police search your car without your consent and without a valid reason, your attorney may be able to challenge the search in court. If you are unsure about your rights or the specific laws in your jurisdiction, it's advisable to consult with a legal professional for guidance tailored to your situation. Always stay calm and respectful during any interaction with law enforcement. Your rights. You have the right to remain silent. For example, you do not have to answer any questions about where you are going, where you are traveling from, what you are doing, or where you live. If you wish to exercise your right to remain silent, say so out loud. In some states, you may be required to provide your name if asked to identify yourself, and an officer may arrest you for refusing to do so. You do not have to consent to a search of yourself or your belongings, but police may pat down your clothing if they suspect a weapon. Note that refusing consent may not stop the officer from carrying out the search against your will, but making a timely objection before or during the search can help preserve your rights in any later legal proceeding. If you are arrested by police, you have the right to a government-appointed lawyer if you cannot afford one. You do not have to answer questions about where you were born, whether you are a U.S. citizen, or how you entered the country. Separate rules apply at international borders and airports, as well as for individuals on certain non-immigrant visas, including tourists and business travelers. For more specific guidance about how to deal with immigration-related questions, how to reduce risk to yourself. Stay calm. Don't run, resist, or obstruct the officers. Do not lie or give false documents. Keep your hands where the police can see them. What to do if you are arrested or detained. Say you wish to remain silent and ask for a lawyer immediately. Don't give any explanations or excuses. Don't say anything, sign anything, or make any decisions without a lawyer. If you have been arrested by police, you have the right to make a local phone call. The police cannot listen if you call a lawyer. They can and often do listen if you call anyone else. If you believe your rights were violated, write down everything you remember, including officers' badges and patrol car numbers, which agency the officers were from, and any other details. Get contact information for witnesses. If you're injured, seek medical attention immediately and take photographs of your injuries. File a written complaint with the agency's Internal Affairs Division or Civilian Complaint Board. In most cases, you can file a complaint anonymously if you wish. What you can do if you think you're witnessing police abuse or brutality. Stand at a safe distance and, if possible, use your phone to record video of what is happening. as long as you do not interfere with what the officers are doing and do not stand close enough to obstruct their movements. You have the right to observe and record events that are plainly visible in public spaces. Do not try to hide the fact that you are recording. Police officers do not have a reasonable expectation of privacy when performing their jobs, but the people they are interacting with may have privacy rights that would require you to notify them of the recording. In many states, you must affirmatively make people aware that you are recording them. Police officers may not confiscate or demand to view your photographs or video without a warrant, and they may not delete your photographs or video under any circumstances. If an officer orders you to stop recording or orders you to hand over your phone, you should politely but firmly tell the officer that you do not consent to doing so, and remind the officer that taking photographs or video is your right under the First Amendment. Be aware that some officers may arrest you for refusing to comply even though their orders are illegal. The arrest would be unlawful, but you will need to weigh the personal risks of arrest, including the risk that officer may search you upon arrest, against the value of continuing to record. Whether or not you are able to record everything, make sure to write down everything you remember, including officers' badge and patrol car numbers, which agency the officers were from, how many officers were present and what their names were, any use of weapons, including less lethal weapons such as tasers or batons, and any injuries suffered by the person stopped. If you are able to speak to the person stopped by police after the police leave, they may find your contact information helpful in case they decide to file a complaint or pursue a lawsuit against the officers.
Somebody
Now
goes
that
in
you've
there,
just violated my rights, what's your scenario?
somebody goes in there being super belligerent. The manager says, I want you trespassed.
Yes, they're being
they-
super
can't they do
belligerent.
that?
They violated the law. They've caused a public disturbance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so they
Yep.
could.
If I stand outside, minding my own business, not talking to anybody, taking pictures,
So in your
that's not the
scenario,
same
you
story.
were on the sidewalk
That's correct.
Taking video.
On public property.
taking video of
On,
people coming.
on public property. You're talking about 6 different things. You're making a mistake, and I would remedy it as quickly as possible if I was you.
All right.
Seriously, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time there, Ziegler. if
I
that's
was
how
just-
you- What I'm trying to explain
just
to you is that you cannot trespass somebody from public property, which this is, unless they have committed a crime. That's the law, whether you want to accept that or not. And I asked this officer to check with a supervisor and verify what she was doing before she did it. She threatened me with arrest if I didn't give her my driver's license and identify myself. There is no lawful basis for that since I did not commit a crime and I did nothing wrong. So you have now violated 2 of my constitutional rights. And that's a major lawsuit.
If the manager wants you trespassed,
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
What if he wanted me trespassed because I have a mustard-colored shirt on? Is that you're going to trespass me for that? He doesn't like me taking pictures on public property, so you're going to trespass me for that. You people swore an oath to the Constitution, and you swore an oath to protect my rights, and now you've just violated my First Amendment right and my Fourth Amendment right. And you're going to learn that from a judge in court. I have very good attorneys, and you have no idea who you're messing with. No idea.
So you go places looking for a lawsuit.
No, I go places looking to take photographs and video. Yep,
So it's a
on
state-
public property.
It's a state-owned liquor store.
That's correct. Yep.